Hello, this is my presentation for Jazz Dance by me, Amelia Torzoli. So here are some basic facts about jazz dance. So jazz dance is a vibrant dance technique that incorporates elements of ballet, modern dance, and social dance with African roots. So some key characteristics are first, the high energy of jazz dance. So the movements in jazz and the choreography, it's very lively and energetic, and it goes with the music. So, like number two, it says syncopated rhythm. So all of the movements are syncopated with the rhythm of the music that is picked to be in this jazz dance, whatever the choreographer picked. Um, so then number three, isolation and improvisation. So isolation is basically what that means is that one part of your body is moving and is being focused on. So a lot of that is happening in jazz dance, and a lot of the time it's either the shoulders, the hips, or the ribs. Like any movement in jazz, it's very isolated. So it takes time to practice that, I guess, and to move your rib without moving one part of your body. It's kind of hard sometimes. So, and then improvisation in jazz, it encouraged personal style and creativity to shine throughout the dance. Expression and theatrics. So dancers are encouraged to use facial expressions that are very um, exaggerated, and their body language should convey the emotion to tell whatever story is happening. Because a lot of jazz dance is on Broadway, so a lot of the time these dancers also have to act a certain part in a certain role, so that also has to blend well with the dancing. So then turns and leaps. A lot of jazz dance includes a lot of technical elements. A lot of jazz have very technical elements like leaps and pirouettes, that showcases the precision of the dance. It's very technical, and also encourages a lot of athletic strength. There's a lot of movements in jazz that are not hard, like the technical movements. So it encourages a lot of practice and strength. And you have to build up that strength to do these technical movements. And then the sharp and fluid contrast of jazz dance. The movements can be very sharp at one point, like if there's a big boom or something that's happening in the music, the dance has to relate to that. So then there'll be a sharp movement and then it'll go back to being fluid. There's a lot of dynamics in jazz dance that go from sharp and then fluid movement, and it's all based with the music that is chosen for the dance. So this slide is the then versus now slide. So there are a lot of differences that occurred obviously with dance, because every dance has evolved from now till then. Dance is a much bigger thing now than it was back then. So music, it was basically all jazz and swing music, obviously jazz, dance, jazz music, but now it's more relevant to what is now popular. So pop, hip hop, electric, the music that basically is what we like to listen to today. The style was very grounded and rhythmic and syncopated, so it was a lot based off the music again, but now it's more sharp and athletic and dynamic. So, like I said before, jazz dance is a very technical dance and you need a lot of athleticism, but now it's grown so much where the athleticism, there's like new things that come out every single day. So, athleticism is very needed. The choreo is very synchronized and very together back then, but now it's more of an individual expression and intricate moves. Performance, it was performed in social halls and Broadway. That's where a lot of the jazz dance I first knew was like Broadway, but now global competitions have become a major hit. I competed in all of these dance competitions since I was seven till when I was like 7 to 18. So I did jazz solos every single year. I would compete, but now it's an even bigger thing than when I was competing when I was 7 years old, and even when I did it 2 years ago. The world of competition is really evolving, and jazz is a major part of that. The media influence limited to performances back then, but now it's spread through social media and TV. So the impact that jazz had on pop culture. So, like I said, Broadway is really known for their jazz dance, choreography, and musicals like The Chorus Line and West Side Story. I actually did a piece, a jazz piece with my company back when I was a junior in high school. So, like 3 years ago, we did a piece based off of The Chorus Line, and we tried to get every step, every line ba perfectly. So it mimicked chorus line perfectly, and we actually did their kick line, and that was actually really fun to study and learn how to do their kick line like the exact way and like not mess anything up. Music videos, Michael Jackson has a lot of iconic moves that are based off of jazz dance and Beyonce's performances. And then dance competitions. So jazz has a major impact on dance competitions. Like I said, it's a staple category in the competitive world of dance. And it's just gonna grow bigger and bigger every single day. So I added a link here to
The Sonic Smooth Pro Plus is now
to a the West Side Story, one of the dances in West Side Story. This is from the movie, and you could just see the jazz dance that happens in here. So as you could see in that, um, it was it went with the music. When there was a big bang in the song, the dancers had a lot more like emphasis on their move. So it was the dynamic was there. Also the th a lot every not every dancer was doing the same thing. It was different. So it's very eye-catching to see like one person do something and then the other group or the other person do something else. So like I said, I did jazz dancing forever in my life. So here's a picture of me when I was, I think, around 8 years old doing my jazz solo. That was my second jazz solo I ever performed. And personal reflection that I have with jazz dance is what I love most about it is the energy, the power, the creativity, and freedom that I felt while dancing. I never felt more powerful in my lifetime than being on stage dancing jazz because it always made me feel the most dynamic and allowed me to express so much personality. I've felt the most confident ever in my life being on a stage doing a jazz piece that I got choreographed from my teacher. It was just the best feeling in the world. And then here is a video of me actually doing jazz. I included it. This was my junior year of high school jazz solo, and it was half with heels and then half without heels, but I'm gonna show you the part that were was with not heels. So you could see also in that I was very dynamic, and in some parts of the music there were little beats, and every single move that I did went with that music, went with that like those beats and stuff. So here's a demo of the jazz square that I would have taught to the class. So I just added the step-by-step instruction, so it's still part of my presentation. So the first thing you do is step forward with your right foot, then second, cross your left foot over your right, then step back with your right foot, and then step to the side with your left foot. And then a tip is to keep your knees bent so it's easier to cross your feet, because if they're straight, like it'll be hard to move, and your legs would get locked underneath themselves. And add some flair, move your arms, move your head, get your hips involved. Jazz dance is all about the personality, so it's fun to add personality to the jazz square. And thank you so much for listening to my presentation, and I hope you're doing well. Bye bye.